それでね、清十郎くん、聞いてる？
Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening. Please, go ahead. I've made a terrible mistake. I underestimated her enthusiasm. Since she talked about TSFs at length the other day, I believed I had an idea of how long this discussion would take, but sadly, Lieutenant Fitzbin has smashed her previous record. Be that as it may, you cannot leave without repaying her kindness. Endure, Seijiro. Endure. For in enduring, you shall grow strong.
ルナ、そろそろ終わりにしようよ。まさかまだ始まったばかりですわ。
What incredible endurance! Her passion for TSF bursts forth like a charging horde of destroyer-class beta. The Lieutenant's hidden strength can shake the world once it wakes indeed.
ところで清十郎くん、米軍機に興味はお持ち
？Yes.
ルナテレジア、それくらいにしておけ。清十郎にも予定があるのだ。
そうよ。清十郎は今日のレポートも残ってるし、明日も私に起こされるとか、とにかく忙しいのよ。
What's with that last part? You haven't given up yet?
まあ、それは残念。一昨日のように清十郎くんと心ゆくまでお話ししたかったですわ。
She's done the little face. It really is a shame. I apologize from the bottom of my heart, Lieutenant Fitzbin. Perhaps we'll continue this conversation someday. However, today is not that day. My hats off to your love of TSFs, Lieutenant. I've never met someone as zealous as you.
清十郎、ルナはね、戦術機を無効にするって噂されるくらいなのよ。それに、こう見えて操縦はうまいんだけど荒っぽいのよ。整備し泣かせて困ったものなのよ。嫌ですわ、イルフィ。こう見えてなんて人聞きの悪い。機体のポテンシャルを効率よく引き出す術を考えてのことですのに。
Now that's a side of Lieutenant Fitzbin I certainly didn't see coming. But considering how crazy she is about TSFs, I can see her going all out and testing all the specs for herself. Hardly surprising. In fact, I'm actually in shock that I didn't figure this out sooner. That was unexpected, but it kind of makes sense. Bringing the three of them, she's the one who strikes me as the most gentle, a genuine aristocratic lady with perfect manners, and yet she really is the toughest of them all.
こう見えてというなら、ヘルガこそその道の対価でしょうに。
No, go on. I'd love to hear more about Helga. Keep going.
私に矛先を向けるのは
Don't trick me into this.
巻き込
I
ま
can
ないで
respect
くれ。
that.
そうそう。凛々しく見せてるけど、実はヘルがすっごく可愛いんだから。
You know what? We did notice that ourselves, yeah.
よせイルフリーデ私は少しも可愛くないぞ。
So she also just put up with Lieutenant Fulner's shenanigans. I can relate. Oh, how much can I relate to the sorry Lieutenant Falkenmeyer must feel? What a troublesome friend Lieutenant Fulner must be with her pushiness and utter lack of tact.
この前の休暇に3人でリバプールに行ったんだけど、途中でヘルガがいなくなったのよ。
よせイルフリーデそれは。
それでルナと2人でいないねなんて言いながら探してたらどこにいたと思う？
Well, from what little I know of Lieutenant Falkenmeyer, I would guess at an antique shop, perhaps looking at old swords.
まあそういうイメージよね、ヘルガって。
But...
よせやめろやめてくれ。
なんとこの人、ソフトクリームの行列に並んでました。こう見えてこの人、甘いもの大好きです。
I mean, I was expecting something far more, but like, girl just wanted an ice cream. How is ice cream girly? What a fucking what? You can't even eat a goddamn ice cream cone nowadays? What the fuck? What the fuck? That's actually some stupid shit. I was expecting like them like she was out window shopping for dresses. Oh ho ho, and I'd be like, oh, that's okay. Now that's something scandalous right there. But yo, she wanted an ice cream cone. Can you believe how feminine she is wanting some ice cream? Like, excuse me. It is not a stereotypically feminine thing to eat ice cream. It's just dessert. What the fuck? Food is not a gendered thing. Not even like a stereotypical sense. What? It's ice cream.
原合成
Who
バナナ
gives a fuck what flavor? Motherfucker, I'll tear up some goddamn cotton candy ice cream. You think you gonna give me a fucking weird look for that? Like, oh, this man eating that candy flavor shit. Fuck you. Y'all some stupid. Y'all stupid. Y'all fucking stupid. There's literally nothing like stereotypically feminine about anything she just said. I don't know why you're reacting like this. You fiend. However, how lovely does Lieutenant Falkenmeyer look in this fleeting moment, fit to burst into tears in a second. Why is my heart beating so fast? What a rare glimpse of the weakness of a proud military woman. If you would not call this supreme beauty, what would you call art then?
悪くない。甘いものが好きでも悪くない。
Honestly, there isn't. And Luna patting her on the back. It's like, yep, sure, buddy. Correct. You're absolutely correct.
でソフトを買ったヘルガがこそこそと端っこに行って食べようとした瞬間声をかけたんだけど、よほど驚いたんでしょうね。耳まで真っ赤になって涙目になっちゃったのよ。
What, you're so much better because y'all got some fucking fish and chips, huh? Like, oh, instead of like, oh, she didn't get like a real type of meal, she went and got ice cream. Y'all are so much better, huh?
驚いたとしたらどうするつもりだ、バカ者。
でもそのソフトがあまりに美味しそうだったから一口もらったの。そしたらしばらく口を聞いてくれなくなっちゃったのよ。
愛するものを奪われれば誰でもそうなりますわ。
So what did she do exactly, Lieutenant Falkenmeyer?
イルフリーデが一口と言っておけ。
Cunt! You are merciless.
その前には私のフィッシュ&チップスがパックリいかれましたわ。
Wow. I mean, the ice cream was her dessert?
あの店の濃縮還元合成バナナ味はうまいと評判で、リバプールでの休暇を目標に
Those fucking eyes,
頑張っていたのに。
その後怒られてね。買って返すことになって1時間並んだんだけど、結局売り切れになって。
My condolences.
で、次の休暇の時に
I sure hope so.
なっちゃったんだけどね。
当然の報いですわ。
バカ者。
Wow. Okay. Alright. This should do. Still, at this point I have more questions than answers. I don't like to generalize, but going by what I've heard from the other cadets, all of the EU forces seem to have similarly loose standards of discipline, which is precisely the issue. My contemporaries all face different problems, depending on their respective host country. There seem to be more disciplined armies than the Bundeswehr, but they're not necessarily more proficient in combat. Supposedly there are also forces with excellent morale and skill who are held back by their outdated equipment. The one thing everyone agreed on, although to varying degrees, was that the European armies seem to lack a sense of urgency. Maybe that's the reason why their forces feel inferior when compared to the Imperial Royal Guard. Which raises the question, how could this possibly be the case? Europe is one of mankind's front lines. Together with Northeast Africa and the Far East, it's one of the three major lines of defense in the war against the Beta. Britain is barely 40 kilometers away from mainland Europe, where several large hives were built. The place is literally crawling with Beta. To make matters worse, the Europeans are forced to fight inside the effective range of the heavy laser class during their regular culling operations. Given the ever-present Beta threat, how can they remain in such an idyllic atmosphere? Someone said this has to be resignation, that no one, from the upper brass to the lowliest of cadets, believes Europe will ever be recaptured. Someone else argued it's exactly because they behaved this way that they lost their homelands in the first place. That's why, he added, European cadets should be sent to the Empire to train, not the other way around. I can't fully agree with either position, but I won't deny both of them make valid points. The Empire of Japan is the only country on Earth that has expelled the Beta from occupied territory. Europe, in contrast, remains under their thrall. It is only natural to question what we could possibly hope to learn from them. I would be lying if I said such thoughts haven't crossed my mind. The Seven Heroes. Was their inspirational story nothing but falsehood? A cynical piece of wartime propaganda disseminated to improve humanity's morale? Major Eichberger, Captain Rellerstein, Lieutenant Faudenhorst? I was looking forward to learning from them directly, to be in a position where I could study their piloting techniques firsthand. I was sure this would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but reality had other plans. The only pilots I'm able to personally interact with are newly commissioned lieutenants. Of course, that in itself is by no means surprising. It's highly likely we exchange students very low on their priority. Are very low on their priority list. There we go. As a matter of fact, every cadet I asked told me they're supervised by service pilots fresh out of the academy. So what is the point of this exercise? Why did the Royal Guard headquarters send me here? All that is left of my exchange is the live fire exercise. I'm here thanks to the Imperial Treasury. My stay is made possible thanks to the taxes paid by hardworking Japanese subjects. How could I dare return to the Empire having learned nothing of importance? Inconceivable. No, as they say, wait and hope. Simulator training for the live fire exercise will start tomorrow. I am more than ready. Come what may, I shall prevail. Mark my words, I will learn from this experience and bring back something of true value. Do not give up yet, Seijiro. You still haven't seen the Cerberus battalion in action. Lieutenant Witzelben. I have to keep a positive outlook. Tomorrow's when the real thing starts. Alright, I should go to bed at once. I need to be well rested. It will also serve as a good preparation to deal with Lieutenant Fulner's morning raid. Day 5. Let's go. Well, good morning to you, Lieutenant Fulner. Did you really expect otherwise? You encroach on my private space day after day in the exact same manner. Only a fool wouldn't take precautions. I'll pass on your offer. I can't stand her watching over me when I'm so vulnerable. What a shameful display. And the way she brings her lips so close to mine that they almost touch while I'm sleeping, simply obscene. She was doing that? Like, bro, how have you not picked up on the fucking message then, my guy? I'm totally fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me, Lieutenant. No, I'm sure I'm alright. Why? Because I say I'm okay. Circular reasoning. Anyway, I'm supposed to attend the simulator training as a spectator today, if I'm not mistaken. Lieutenant, I could be at death's door, and yet I would somehow summon the energy to attend. Believe me, I wouldn't miss this exercise for the world. Ah! Again, the Lieutenant suggestively embraces me, in the morning no less. I'm certain now, this degree of physical contact is abnormal, even for a Westerner. Just so you know, Lieutenant, I'm looking forward to seeing the whole of Cerberus in action. I wasn't talking about you alone. I haven't been cold to you, this is the usual me. Whatever you say, Lieutenant. If you would excuse me now, it's time to eat breakfast. I've been an adult all along. Yes, let's do just that. She's pulling my hand again. Oh well, letting her have some small victories from time to time should be fine. You'd think. Just you wait, people be like... Oh. Tell me, Captain. Love to hear this man talk.
これが北海に浮かぶシェトランド諸島である。今回の演習はメインランド島をグレートブリテン島に、その東に位置するホールセイ島を欧州大陸に見立てて行われる。演習シナリオは例によって例のごとく、国連欧州連合軍によるベータ上陸阻止作戦である。状況は次の通り。ドーバー海峡を都会進行中の超軍団規模ベータ軍が探知され、国連北海艦隊が第一次防衛ラインを形成。第一防衛ラインでおよそ 30% を失いながらも、ベータ軍第一陣が海峡沿岸一帯に上陸を開始。これを第一戦域、第二防衛ラインとして欧州連合陸軍の下方及びマルス部隊が第二防衛ラインを突破した敵に対し、 欧州連合の戦術機構部隊が第一戦域に突入し、第三防衛ラインを形成。主演第三防衛ラインの敵戦力が 30% を切った段階で、地中を侵攻してきた3個師団規模ベータ軍がナップ沿岸に出現。これに対し東欧北欧連合軍部隊が即応し、第三防衛ラインを伸長。北海艦隊は全速後退するも 40% の艦艇を開出。国連太平洋艦隊及びドーバー基地軍は ALM を含む支援砲撃を開始。重金属雲の発生と同時に洋上待機中の我が大隊は重レーザー級の排除を優先破壊目標として第二戦域となるセルベルス・ロートの2個中隊による低空侵入、目標選別攻撃により重レーザー級を排除。その後全戦域全防衛ラインにてベータの全滅を確認し帰投。本演習の参加艦艇陸上部隊航空、我が大隊は機動揚撃部隊であるがゆえに第二戦域でのチョーク低空進行など最も危険かつ困難な作戦が要求されている。なおベータの出現位置、規模、編成比率は当日を含めシミュレーターでも毎回変更されるものとする。
各自完全装備で60分後にシミュレータールームに集合。何か質問はあるか？
しかし毎度本当に弾薬と時間の無駄ですね、これは。
どうせ国連官僚のわがままでしょ。シビリアンコントロールだかなんだか知らないけど戦争気分だけでも味わいたいのよ。
だったら実践を視察に来ればいいじゃないですか。歓迎はしませんけど。
バカかお前ら。国連のお偉方がそんな危険で小汚いところに行くわけねえだろ。そういうクソったらな場所はな、居候や厄介者の社交場ってのが相場なんだよ。
ブラウアーの言う通りだ。たとえそれがクソのような味だろうが、働かない居候が食える飯はイギリスにもない。
Wow, that's quite the rallying cry. Hell yeah, for that shitty taste. Yum yum.
他にはあるか？なければ以上とする。
Oh, interesting. The scenario prepares for two things at once: a large-scale landing from the continent and an underground incursion. Victory in this operation obviously hinges on the elimination of the heavy laser class. Just as I expected, Cerberus Battalion has been entrusted with that crucial responsibility. Heavy metal clouds notwithstanding, Cerberus' job is extremely difficult. It's no easy task for two companies to rush into the beta-occupied continent and eliminate several dozen heavy laser class. Should they fall, the rest of the forces will need to buy time with indirect saturation supporting fire until another strike force can be dispatched. Splitting our forces further while dealing with the landing enemies would simply increase casualties caused by lasers. No, the overall loss ratio would likely double. Worst case scenario, Dover Complex could lose a vast amount of men and firepower, leaving them in a precarious situation. They probably wouldn't be able to withstand another large-scale invasion. It may be training, but the assumptions they will be fighting under are harsh. As I thought, Europe's situation is dire. What's most shocking, though, is their palpable contempt for the United Nations forces. Is that a widespread sentiment among the European Union forces, or is it limited to Cerberus because they are a quick reaction force, meaning most of their missions involve cleaning up the UN's mess? Maybe I'm overthinking this. Complaints about the upper brass are common everywhere, and considering the Bundeswehr it has been incorporated into the United Nations forces, the UN military leadership would be the natural target of their grievances. Now that I think about it, it may very well be that the United Nations is to the European Union what the United States is to Japan. Fair comparison.
真壁候補生、ちょっといいかしら。
Uh-oh. Yes, ma'am. Lieutenant Farnhorst, why does she want to talk with me? Whatever it is, I'm innocent.
あなたもシミュレータールームに集合するのよ。イルフリーでは訓練に参加するから案内できないけれど、一人で大丈夫かしら。
Yes, she has shown me the way before.
そう。セキュリティレベルは問題ないから安心していらっしゃい。
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your concern.
訓練の様子はコマンドポストオフィサー用のヘッドセットで見ることができるわ。イルフリーでの活躍を見てあげて。
Yes, ma'am.
では後ほどシミュレータールームでね。
It was just an ordinary conversation, but despite my calm demeanor, my hands are drenched in sweat. A living legend straight up out of the history books, the White Wolf Queen, just hearing her say my name was nerve-wracking, to the point where images of the shower room incident flashed through my mind. Heavens, that regretful affair. Indelible in my memories is her disapproval, the way the lieutenant looked at me with eyes full of disdain in the locker room, even though my innocence had long been established. Oh well, in 1 hour I'll finally be able to witness the second lieutenant's, nay, the whole Cerberus battalion in battle with my own 2 eyes. 3 of the 7 heroes will take part in this exercise. I cannot afford to look away from their battle, not even for a second. I know this is mere simulator practice before the real exercise, but the joint integrated visualization emulator system ensures that things will feel as close to actual combat as possible. Jives is an amazing piece of technology that accurately replicates visual projections of the beta, the scenery, and other TSFs, not to mention it can also faithfully reproduce sensory feedback such as shock and acceleration based on actual combat data. I have some first-hand experience with it myself. Even though I was aware it's only a simulation, my mind had trouble telling apart what's virtual and what's real. Before you know it, you were completely immersed. However, Jives was created to be used in non-live fire training exercises with real machines. I've never heard of it being used in live fire scenarios to emulate the enemies involved and the damage incurred. Quite intriguing, actually.
聖十郎、さすがに嬉しそうな顔してるわね。
But of course, Lieutenant Fulner, because I'll finally be able to see the famous Cerberus battalion in action. I expect the performance of a lifetime.
舞台は普段通りやるだけらしいけど、私は聖十郎の期待に応えられるように頑張るわ。
Right, now then, I think I'll head to the simulator room by myself. You must focus on your preparations for the exercise, Lieutenant.
ありがとう。じゃあまた後でね。
Yes, ma'am. Same as usual, huh? Does that mean they can afford to perform as usual? I have to say, that makes Cerberus sound surprisingly efficient, an impression I did not quite get during my everyday life on Dover Base. What do I know? The Lieutenant obviously has a lot of combat experience. I'm sure she can handle situations like these perfectly. Perhaps she's even become sort of an old hand already. I'm truly looking forward to this exercise.
立ち上がれ気高く舞